The Logitech G Cloud was released on October 17th, 2022. However, it would be close to a year after that when I would hesitantly click the proceed to checkout button on Amazon, biting the bullet to pick up a unit of my very own. I say hesitantly because, well, when this handheld was released, it didn't get the best of reviews. YouTube was littered with videos of people bashing the device for its mediocre power and inability to play games locally, which is a bit of a falsehood which I'll touch upon in a bit, needing instead to rely on the cloud. As such, I was swayed away from the device. Yet I couldn't get it out of my head. At this point in time, cloud gaming was ostensibly in its infancy, and most people didn't think it was a viable way to play real games. I was not most people. I was one of the early beta testers for Xbox Cloud Gaming. I was doing long-distance remote play on my PS4 with my PS Vita all the way back in 2014, to the annoyance of my college professor, who probably would have preferred that I wasn't slaying orcs in Shadow of Mordor during his lectures. Sorry, professor, but Olgoth the Bleeder needed his comeuppance. Game streaming and playing off of the cloud were technologies I understood and was curious to delve deeper into. And so I gave the finger to all those YouTubers and got myself the Logitech G Cloud, a device that would become my primary way of gaming throughout 2024 and one I still consider to be a great overall package in 2025. Yo, my name's Shaz and welcome to Pixel Swish. I do video essays on video games and talk a lot about handhelds. If you like that, be sure to subscribe. If you like movies and basketball, I also do a lot of film and NBA content on my TikTok at Pixel Swish Official, so you can check that out here. And all of my videos are published as articles on my website, pixel-swish.com. You can find all the links in the description below. Thank you for watching. Now let's get back to the video. When it comes to the build quality, Logitech absolutely nailed it. This device, still to this day, may very well be the most comfortable handheld I've ever owned. My medium to large hands wrap perfectly around its curved edges, with the indentations on its corners fitting snugly into my palms. The ridges on its curves add a nice grip too. Being only 463 grams also means that you don't have to worry about hand fatigue, something that I've come to appreciate, especially now after having been using the MSI Cloud 8 AI Plus over the past few months, which weighs nearly double. Also, though everything here is made out of plastic, it doesn't feel cheap. This is a sturdy device that has a rigidity that makes it feel solid and premium. When it comes to the screen, there's nothing fancy here, but what you do get is very solid. It's a 7-inch 1080p 60Hz LCD. Now, that may not be the premium display specs we've gotten used to in 2025, but the quality of this LCD is very good. In terms of colors, black levels, and overall sharpness, this is definitely one of the better displays I've come across in the handheld market, and I'm always impressed with how good games look on it. As for the buttons and joysticks, things are mostly good, but with some shortcomings. The face buttons are in your classic ABXY format and have a smooth finish and soft press to them. Though they're a little on the smaller side, they feel tactile, and I've personally never found their size to be an issue. You know what, I'll leave it alone. As for the joysticks, they're okay. They aren't Hall effect and are on the smaller side as well, with a little less travel than I'd like. Still, once in a game, you quickly get used to them. And thankfully, the dead zone issue, which was a big deal when this first came out, has long been fixed. And as is increasingly the norm with modern handhelds, the D-pad kinda sucks. It's not the worst, but it's mushy, also has little travel, and just isn't the most satisfying to use. But again, far from the worst I've used. Both the triggers and shoulder buttons are decent, though I'm not a big fan of the clickiness of the shoulder buttons and would have liked the triggers to be a tad bigger. But these are minor gripes. Frankly, what's impressed me the most is just how well the buttons and triggers, and honestly the device as a whole, has held up over the past couple of years. With a little spit and polish, you'd be hard pressed to distinguish my unit from a brand new one. The Logitech G Cloud is powered by the Snapdragon 720G processor. This is a mid-range octa-core processor from 2020 meant to power budget Android devices, because that's ostensibly what the G Cloud is, a budget Android tablet. One that, as mentioned, is very well built with great ergonomics and a solid screen, but in terms of its power is very much in line with other budget tablets from its time. But that's okay because this is a streaming first device. This isn't a Steam Deck or another handheld PC. That being said, that doesn't mean you can't play some games locally. Premium indie games like Streets of Rage 4, Dead Cells, and Blasphemous run flawlessly with no issues. The chip is also powerful enough to run some decent emulation as well, from SNES and GBA all the way up to the PSP and even some PS2 and GameCube. The G Cloud is surprisingly capable if you're patient enough to mess around with settings and keep your expectations in check. Sure, you're not going to be able to play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 without accessing the cloud, but you're still able to do some solid local gaming. And honestly, even my $1,300 Claw 8 has trouble running KCD 2 without some concessions. Ever since I got the Claw 8, I'll admit that my G Cloud has been collecting dust for the past few months. When I randomly picked it up a few weeks ago, I was instantly reminded of just how much I enjoyed playing games on this device. And that's exactly what I've been doing over the past couple of weeks, playing a lot of games, both locally and via the cloud.
Fire alarm test.
Wonderful.
Your attention, please.
A fire alarm test. Wonderful. Oh. And even after 2 years, the experience is terrific. Firstly, Logitech have made a ton of wonderful updates over the course of 3 years that improve the software experience. The newer custom UI not only looks great, but is very easy to navigate and has a lot of helpful widgets and folders. When it comes to the playing experience, cloud gaming has come a very long way since the early beta years of xCloud. Nvidia's GeForce Now is still the king in terms of visual quality and latency. Their newest update to the 50 series chips and newly added visual features make for an experience that most closely rivals that of playing PC games locally. Other services like Boosteroid are also decent. However, because I live in a city that doesn't have one of their many servers, my experience isn't as smooth or visually consistent compared to GFN, and therein lies the rub. The quality of cloud gaming is highly dependent on your location and home network setup. If you live somewhere that doesn't have one of your cloud gaming providers' servers, or if your internet is either slow or spotty, the experience is going to be bad, irrespective of the device. But if you are lucky enough to have both of those things covered, playing AAA games at ultra settings and with full ray tracing on a handheld while not having to worry about heat or battery life still feels like witchcraft. One thing that I also want to note is just how well cloud gaming works on this device. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Shaz, it's cloud gaming, it works the same everywhere. No, my friend, it does not. As someone who's tried cloud gaming on a number of devices, from my laptop to my phone to my Claw 8, let me tell you, every time I've gone back to playing games off the cloud on my G Cloud, the experience has been smoother. Don't ask me why. It's not like this thing has a better Wi-Fi card or anything, but it's been the case every time. Whether it's streaming from my PS5 or playing directly from something like Amazon Luna, the G Cloud has been the overall better experience when it comes to anything streaming related. Now, a lot of people ask, why not just get a Steam Deck? And that's fair. The Steam Deck is an amazing device that can do everything the G Cloud can in terms of cloud gaming and emulation, while also being able to play PC games locally. With the baseline LCD deck often going on sale for a little over $300 US, which is about the same price as the G Cloud, it may be the better option at that price point. However, there are a couple of things to consider. Firstly, the deck is larger and heavier, so you'll be sacrificing a little bit of portability. Secondly, the battery life is nowhere near as long lasting compared to the G Cloud, even if you're just cloud gaming on the deck. And thirdly, the display on the LCD deck is far inferior to that of the G Cloud, not only in terms of resolution, but also in terms of black levels and color reproduction. Now, for as much as I love the G Cloud, if you are looking for a device for cloud, Android, and emulation gaming, I actually don't think this is the best device anymore at this price point. The Iron Odin 2 Portal, which came out the beginning of this year, has a 7-inch 1080p 120Hz OLED, a much faster chip with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, and is just an overall beast for a little over $300. It's pretty much what an upgraded G Cloud would have looked like if Logitech were looking to do a refresh. Nevertheless, if you are able to get the G Cloud on sale for, say, I don't know, $200, then it's still the king in the space. 2 years later, the Logitech G Cloud still feels like an overall solid package. Both its hardware and software have aged gracefully, making for a smooth gaming experience all around, whether that be through the ever-improving cloud or locally with some premium indie titles and older emulators. Though better devices have since been released over the past 3 years, if you're able to snag this handheld on sale for a couple of Benjamins, you'll be more than satisfied. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give me a like and hype points, because that's like a new thing on YouTube. And let me know in the comments if you have a G Cloud and what's been your experience with it. That's my time. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Why do I keep saying peace? That's not even something that I say in real life. I've been watching too much MKBHD.